This is the Motivated Business Show, hosted by me, Mark Terrell, the author of Motivated, the Reluctant Leader's Guide to Building a Business that Sets You Free. In my book, I share the 7-step process to get the measure of your business. Measure is an acronym that stands for Mirror, Evaluate, Action, Systemize, Unify, Review, and Energize. On each episode, I'll be chatting to a business owner about how they stay motivated and how they've got the measure of their business. So without further ado, let's find out who's joining me on this episode. Hello and welcome along to this pre-launch show of the Motivated Business Show with me, Mark Terrell. I thought it'd be a good idea just to run through what it's all about. I have some guests already lined up, but if you catch this and you think, well, that sounds like an interesting podcast to get into, get involved with, then get in touch and I will go through what I'm going to be talking about with regards to the show structure and what it's going to be, and then you can evaluate and get in touch. One of the things that I will be talking about a lot is the content of my book. This is Motivated. You can get it direct from me, or you can get it from Amazon in Kindle or in paperback form. And within that book, I share a 7-step process, which I call my measure process. Which the analogy is getting the measure of your business. And the 7 steps. Well, let's have a look at what those 7 steps are. So I think seems like an appropriate time to talk about those 7 steps. So normally I would have a guest joining me, but today I've just got my little diagram to join me today. So I will talk you through the 7 steps and you'll understand what they're all about then. So first of all, we start here at Mirror. Mirror is about understanding yourself. And if you're a business owner, I believe it's essential to have good self-awareness, understand the things that get you out of bed in the morning, your behavioural style, and your character strengths, understanding why they're important, why you should be making the most of your strengths, and being aware of things that aren't your strengths, and maybe you can work on them so they become your strength. And there's certain things within our business that will give us challenges, and our strengths will help us in most instances, but sometimes those strengths aren't enough. So we need to develop those strengths. So character strengths are a key aspect of what I teach my clients. And when they are in a challenging situation, that is when they come to the forefront of how we cope with something. So Mirror is about, as the acronym explains, the mirror is putting up the mirror, so you understand yourself. It reflects. You look at yourself and say, I understand myself now. And it's still also important to remember that we don't stay the same, and in particular with regards to motivation, our motivations do change, and so that's key to keep re-evaluating where we are with regards to how we do things and why we do things. So that's the first step. Second step is evaluate. Evaluate is about evaluating where you are now, where you are at this present time, and then evaluating where do I want to go? Where is it that I want to end up? So it's the classic setting goals and intentions thing. And once you set intentions, then you know where you're going, and you can set all the things that you do or the actions you take are in line with that intention. So evaluations is key. A lot of people don't spend enough time actually thinking about what they're trying to achieve with their business. There is a lot of emphasis on financials and all those sort of things, which not to say they're not important, but financials are only one aspect of your business. And if you are going to go the long haul and make your business last and ultimately be fulfilling, then we've got to make sure that you're taking actions not just on making money, but actually like making sure that you have control over your time, which is one of the key things that I come across a lot, where our business owners lost control over their time, or actually just realizing the difference you make. Sometimes we get sidetracked and forget the actual things that are important to us and the purpose that we want, and the meaning that we have with behind our business. So that's step 2, evaluate. Step 3, Action. Well, we have to take action. We have to start implementing things. And that's the point here. Sometimes we can spend all the time thinking about things but never doing anything. So the action stage is actually just putting things into practice and seeing how they work. And some things will work, some things won't. So when we are observing things, and if we've got a team, we've got to see how they work with others as well. It's about understanding what works, what doesn't work, and learning fast and moving on. And no such thing as failure, but when something doesn't work, we need to fail fast and move on and change things so that we don't get stuck in bad habits and things that aren't giving us the results we need. So action is the third step. Fourth step, systemize. Well, when things are good and going well, we got to make sure that we systemize everything. So when something has to repeat, and we do it on a regular basis, good systems you set up will allow you to pass over more responsibility quicker, because you set up the system. You just got to hand over the system as opposed to teaching someone from scratch. And systemizing in a lot of businesses, I see, is something that it's always put off. But if you spend time doing it, it will multiply in the time it saves you and the efficiencies that you introduce in your business. And if you are looking to sell your business in the future, systemization is absolutely key, because your value in the business is going to be far more if you are not, the business isn't relying on you as the business owner. Because you systemize everything, that will mean that it'll be less dependent on you. So the value that you get for your business is likely to be increased. So systemizing is really important. Next step, unify. Well, this is how you build a team. And no business can grow without more people. So it's not necessarily people that you employ. It might be just people that you subcontract to, or that scenario, or people that you work with. But unifying a team and getting people on board with regards to what you're trying to achieve and the way you want to do it is key. So unifying, and the step in the process is about understanding how to create that team and allowing that team to take more responsibility away from you. Again, it's going to save you time. Last but penultimate step, I should say, is review. And we have to have take time out to review how things are going. So review, when we review things, then we take action and improve things that aren't working quite so well as they should be. And then we become more efficient. So the review sort of encompasses all the other 6 steps, actually. Reviewing how things are going, reviewing your own time, reviewing what the business is doing for you, and reviewing where you want to maybe tweak things and all that sort of thing. So reviewing is the key, and again, most business owners don't spend enough time doing it. And finally, energize. Energizing is about how you empower your team so that they start taking decisions and taking responsibility for things that you used to do yourself. So it's all about the whole process, the motivated or the measure process, I should say, is about making sure that you're freeing up your time, being the person that is working on the business more than in the business. If you're working, I would suggest that you should be spending at least 20% of your time working on the business and not in it. And if you're spending any more than 80% of your time in the business and not spending any time, none of your time on the business, then you are going to be struggling to grow your business. So it's key to be able to pass on responsibilities to others, so that you're not the only person that takes decisions. And energizing a team and empowering them is key to that. So there's a quick step through the 7-step process, which is in the book, and I'll be talking to all my guests about this. Not to say that they have implemented every single one of those 7 steps, but the principle is, I want to know how they stay motivated. I want to know what it is about their business that keeps them motivated. And I would guess that most people will probably say that motivation sometimes is high and sometimes low. And I want to sort of delve into why that might be. I've got my own journey of motivation with my previous retail business, where it was high sometimes and not so high other times, and sometimes reaching rock bottom. And if you can be more self-aware, know where you're going, and actually make sure that motivation is one of your focuses, um, because essentially motivation is energy. If you describe someone who is motivated, then the first word that comes into most people's minds is energy. They are high energy people, and when we have high energy, then we are more successful. We're able to cope with more things. We're more resilient. All those good things that we have to have if we are going to be successful in business. So there's a quick look at the what the podcast is all going to be about, the Motivated Business Show. It's going to be me and a guest. And if you catch this and you think, actually, I quite fancy doing that, then get in touch. And hopefully we can slot you in so that you come on board with the show. It goes out live on LinkedIn and on my YouTube channels and on my Facebook page, and it will be there for forever and a day unless we decide to delete it because it's so bad. But hopefully it won't be. I'm sure it'll be fabulous. And I think there's going to be lots of value for people to tune in. And if you are going to be listening to any of the shows in the future, then your feedback will be much appreciated. That's the way we can improve what we're doing and evolve. As all my previous episode, my previous podcast, I should say, I've evolved as the time went by. My first ever podcast was actually the Reluctant Leader podcast, which is still available. If you want to catch that, it's on all the normal podcast platforms and also available on my website. And this one is going to be slightly different in that I'm going to be talking sort of 50-50 with regards to what I do, because I'm going to be sharing and hopefully sharing some knowledge and the expertise that I've picked up along the way with regards to the 7 steps, how to stay motivated, and how you can make sure that motivation is key and a focus in your business. So there we are. That's a quick 10 minutes or so intro into what the show is going to be all about. I hope you enjoy the future episodes. Like I say, I've got guests lined up, they're not going to be big celebrities. I don't think there's plenty of podcasts out there that are doing that. What I want to do is actually speak to real sort of business owners that are trying to get their business as successful as possible, and then delve into what the challenges are, and hopefully get some information from them with regards to tips and also sharing knowledge between the two of us. Great. Well, thank you for joining me if you have on this intro episode, and I look forward to all the episodes that come after it. See you then.